As some of you know, I work in IT, and as some of you also know, to work in IT, you usually have to go through a rite of passage called support. So I'm going to share my experience with that. Hopefully, it's amusing or informative. I only went through support for a year ish, so I didn't suffer too much, but I did suffer quite a bit. So, normally, there are two main branches of support. You have the remote focused call based support, and then you have the on site physical support. So, the pro of doing this call focused remote support is that you can do it from home. That's pretty much the only pro. The con is that you are, in this case, you're working usually with an MSP, a managed service provider, which means that you are providing support for an outside organization or multiple, which means those people don't know you and they will never see you, so they don't care about you. They'll call you a dumbass over the phone, whatever. Didn't happen to me, but people were very rude. They're like, I'm not going to see you again. I'm going to unleash all my frustration that's caused by me, mostly. Desktop support focus is what actually I did the remote focus one for a bit for a contract, and then I went mostly desktop support. That one, the pro is that you are working for one organization, which means that these people kind of get to know you, which means some of them will treat you better because they have to see you sometimes. The con is that you have to do a lot of physical stuff. You can't just say, yeah, I'll transfer you to someone else, or that's not me, whatever. No, this one, if something is physically wrong, that means it can be an issue of them being dumb, software wise, or you have to go over there and figure out what is physically wrong, which can open up a whole can of worms in terms of what is frustrating and all this. So, yeah, desktop support is very annoying. One of the most basic things you'll be doing is changing passwords because people are dumb. They don't know how to use Listen, if you forget your password, that's okay, you know? It was a complicated password, good job, right? But you can recover your password. You always can. There's always an option for that. And that's when it pisses people like us off because you didn't even bother. You didn't even bother doing the easy recover your password option. You didn't even bother. You're like, I can't log in. Cool, man. So the worst, I think this was the worst scenario in this password context. I helped the guy. So with desktop support, I did stress the physicality of it, but it was hybrid. So you remote half the time, you're on site half the time. This was when I was remote, so I was calling this guy. To be fair, he was 60, but it took 1.5 hours to reset his password. How is that possible? Well, most of it was not actually resetting a password at all. It was, hey, can you try getting into your account? Can I see what you're talking about? Like, oh yeah, do I need my computer? Yes, you need your computer on and with you. Okay, I can't connect. Are you connected to Wi-Fi? No, I'm in my car. Do you have your hotspot with you? Yeah, how do I connect to your hotspot? Do you know how to open it up and check the password if you didn't write it down or connect to it ever in your life? It's shit like that. And then once you get to actual login page, they have to go through the recovery and like, oh, did you set up your what's it called? The secret recovery question to unlock the ability to recover your password? What's that? Okay. All that shit. All that shit made this whole thing take an hour 26 minutes. I remember it because after it I was looking at my phone and I'm like, I cannot fucking believe a password change took this long. I couldn't believe it. Guys, please take better care of your passwords. This other situation was also with an old man, to be fair. However, this situation legitimately to this day I keep thinking about because I don't understand how it happened, and it baffles me to this day. So this one, I was dealing with this guy's ticket, which is, if you guys don't know, it's essentially a software where it kind of fields people's problems in email form or another kind of form, in text form, right? So I'm going back with this guy during through the ticketing system. His issue is, as typical, I can't see myself in Zoom. Okay. So first things first, you don't want to assume, hey, your computer's busted. Hey, Zoom is, you have a bad install of Zoom. No. Check. Is there something physical? Is your camera on? That's the first thing you check, right? So I say, hey, is your camera on? It's like, I don't know. Okay. So as most people know, most laptops these days, they have the little privacy shutter on the webcam, so Mark Zuckerberg can't watch you. So you have to open that when you actually want to be seen, right? So I told the guy in the email, hey, can you open the privacy shutter? Try opening the cover that's covering your webcam. I was like, oh, where's that? I'm like, it's at the top of your computer. Move it to the left. And he said, my mouse doesn't reach there. And my brain fucking cracked. Like, what the fuck do you mean your mouse doesn't reach there? This man was trying to affect the physical world with his mouse. Oh, shit. That fucked me up. I had to rethink my life at that point, but I told him, hey, it's a physical thing. Move it with your finger. Oh, okay, it worked. Okay, close ticket. Man, that fucked me up. That was probably the worst thing I ever saw someone do. Try to use their mouse cursor to affect something physical on their computer. That was fucking wild. So what also sucks about desktop support is that while you are there physically half the time, other people can work remotely more than you can. Which is cool, because I'm not one of those people who are, like, we got to get back into the office. Nah, fuck that shit. If you can do it from home, go home, right? However, with this, and this was pretty much admitted to me, they wanted to get people back into the office more often because they paid for the lease for the building, so let's force people to use it, right? As most people can guess, that's why, people want to push people back into the office. But we're doing that, so we have to get people's workstations set up, docking stations, monitors, all that shit. Fair enough, right? However, the issue is when these people come in once every 2 weeks because their position allows them to do so, it's like you get a ticket. It's like, hey, my cable didn't work for my docking station. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll come right over. Oh, I'm not in. I left early. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, you're, I can't tell if you're using some kind of defective cable. If it's a driver issue. If you were just dumb, what am I supposed to fucking do for 2 weeks with this shit? You need this resolved now. Okay, get fucked then. I don't know what to do with this. It's and then they come in the next 2 weeks and it's like, oh yeah, oh I just missed you. Like, we had to deal with this the next 2 weeks. Okay. If you're not gonna even be here, why do you care about your fucking workstation being set up? Does that make any sense? I don't think so. But beyond the workstation issues, just people who came in so infrequently, but necessitated that their issue was dealt with ASAP because it was super important. So important that it needs to be dealt with ASAP. But not so important that they just come right in so I can deal with it physically. No. This is important. I need my laptop driver updated now. My Wi-Fi driver. Oh, can you come in then? Because it's really important. You're not going to come in for 2 weeks, apparently, due to your schedule. So can you come in like today or tomorrow? No, I come in 2 weeks. But I need this done now. So what that means is I got to drag my ass to FedEx, get a box, get a shipping label with their address on it, send the box to them, wait for them to put their shitty laptop in the box, send it back to us. I do whatever I got to do. Again, bring my ass to FedEx, ship it back to them, and then that's what they do. They get all that. They get all that service because their lazy fucking ass didn't want to come in for something so urgent. Again, I'm not one of those people who are like, hey, you got to come into the office. No. But if this is truly urgent, it's probably faster for you to just come the fuck in because you live nearby instead of having me waste all this time with shipping with your shitty laptop so you can again, while I'm doing this, not have your laptop for 2 or 3 days. Is it not like it matters really. This place, people just strolled in at 10:30 and left at 2. It's like, okay. Nobody cares. So that was frustrating as well. Just the people, the urgency to get something done, but not urgent enough to very slightly inconvenience themselves. No, we have to get inconvenienced to the max. That's what needs to happen. And then, in terms of inconveniencing, there's nothing more inconvenient than you dealing with tickets, and then some fucker walks into the office saying, "Hey, I didn't put in a ticket, but my issue is important. Can you drop everything and deal with my undocumented issue? Can you put in a ticket? But it's quick. It's quick. It's never quick, by the way. So when you start there, in my situation and in most people's situations, your IT manager will probably say, "Hey, make sure people put in tickets. It's important for prioritization and organization, documentation, very important." But when you try to enforce this on people, say, "Hey, sorry, you got to put in a ticket," and they bitch about it, then the manager will come to you saying, "Hey, where's the customer service aspect?" It's up your ass, you fuck. God damn, man. Don't walk in. If there's a system in place, don't walk the fuck in somewhere and try to circumvent it, because you're just going to fuck up not only your issue getting resolved, but you're going to fuck up everyone else's, okay? That's probably the worst. Walk-ins are fucking horrible. Imagine you were a doctor and you had this line of patients and some fucker came in, "Hey, I bruised my ankle. Can you deal with me?" What the fuck are you talking about, bitch? Set up an appointment. Are you kidding me? That's what it's like. That's what it's like when people walk in. It can entirely unhelpful. So, yeah, went through that and there are more issues. Can't think of many at the moment because they all kind of fall into a subset of that. I mean, I can always speak to the most common issues, Oh, I went over the password stuff already, but the Zoom shit, people not knowing how to select or open their fucking cameras, not knowing that all their headphones are plugged in, that's why they can't be heard through the computer itself or whatever. Setting up motherfucking conference meetings with everyone not knowing how to use Zoom despite doing meetings for 20 years. It's just wild. It's crazy how many people are dumb. And I'm not saying that from a perspective of me hating people. I'm saying, of course, because I have this position because I have more access or knowledge than the average person doing this stuff technologically, right? However, there are some issues where if you literally Google what you would say to me as you walk into my fucking office, you could have your issue resolved in about 13 seconds. Just saying. If it's a bigger issue, of course you got to come to us, right? That's how it works. However, this dumbass, "Oh, I can't hear myself on Zoom." Type that shit online. It'll bring you to Zoom's own fucking page where they will tell you themselves what you're doing wrong. That is a fucking issue that is not worth not worth fucking barging in for, okay? Man, people are dumb as shit, man. Anyway. If you're gonna get into IT, you're probably gonna have to go through this at some point. And when you do, you build up a lot of patience. That is good. And you'll feel good knowing that once you pass this point, you probably won't have to deal with it again. Right now, in my current position, I don't talk to people head on. That doesn't happen. It goes through 2 or 3 levels before it's an issue I have to actually deal with. So, no calls, no walk-ins, none of that shit. So, just look forward to that. But if you want to get into IT at all, just saying, it's going to suck. All right. This video is widescreen now. If you guys, long-time watchers would notice, it's because I got a new phone, but because I want to say IT help desk type shit does not suck this much, sucks this much.